Greetings and good day, YouTube. How are you doing today? I myself am pretty excited to continue where last left off in Minecraft. We have the webcam on today when I haven't had it on for the past couple of days because of the temperature. It's not really that it's cooler today than it was yesterday. It's that today's Monday, and if there's one thing I make sure I do, it's to have the face cam on Mondays, so I at least have a thing set up. Give me a moment to also set up my my thing here for the topics of conversation, because we do have episode 11 for Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated series. And it is interesting how it seems like with that show, I'm not going to get too into it right now, but with that show, it seems like they have like 3 episodes, and then they'll like have a small time skip, and then they'll have like another 3 episode parter, and then they'll have another little time skip. Anyways, outside of that, this week we've actually made quite a bit of progress on Elden Ring. The main goal was to get to and defeat Mog, and we actually managed to do that yesterday. We were very under-leveled, and I'm going to say that in quotation marks because you could pretty much beat, like, you could go through the whole game at level 1. I know you can, because people have done it in the past. But I've said time and time again, that's not something I personally will do, because I just don't... I don't really care for the idea of...
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
I've completely lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens.
It's how I stream the game.
It's how I knock out the shopping list.
It's how I
It was about Elden Ring and getting to Mog.
Internet for only $50 per month with autopay and any voice line. Plus there are no
Whatever. Anyways, outside of whatever the hell I was going to talk about earlier, my point overall was that I wanted to make sure I could get to the DLC first and foremost before having to deal with other shit. So I kind of brute forced my way through, and by brute forcing, I used Mimic Tears plus 6, a Executioner's Great Axe, and Godwin's Great Axe, as well as the Blood Flame Blade. The Flask of Wondrous Physic I used, I think it increased charged attacks, I'm not 100% sure, and something else, health regeneration. And then I also used the Dragon Rot Breath ability in order to rot Moog to kind of mitigate the fact that he regenerates his health at the midway point. And I basically... There was a glitch that I kind of noticed where if my Mimic Tier was trying to fight him from the front and I got behind Moog, he would continuously do the, like, unos dos tres, or the tres dos unos thing he does, where he puts the ring around your character before then bleeding you out 3 times, right? And he just keeps doing that ability where he, like, slashes his blade in a way that neither my Mimic Tear or myself would get hit. And the ability that I have on the Executioner's Axe is Wild Strikes, where your character just keeps swinging your blade over and over and over again. And we completely demolished Moog. Now, mind you, it was a couple of hours it took to get to that point, because I basically had to wait for RNG to work in my favor to get that situation to end the way that it did. But I was getting so frustrated because there was a part of me that knew exactly what I needed to do, and I was doing it, but I was getting fucked by a couple of things of RNG here and there. Basically, if Moog had decided to use the Blood Rain ability more, then I probably would have lost again and again. But luckily, at a certain point, we came out victorious, and I now have access to the DLC when it activates. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm actually going to partake in the DLC immediately. There's a part of me that kind of wants to do a stream where I help as many people as I can defeat Mogwin, due to the fact that not very many people have actually defeated that boss. It's actually a boss that's like, a lot of people might not even know exists if they play the game casually without looking anything up. Anyways. I'm trying to find where that moss goes, or that green carpet goes. Like, I guess I could place it down here if I'm... Actually, no, I shouldn't place it down there. I need that and the fire, so we'll keep these up here, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, over the past couple of days, I've been playing Elden Ring. Friday, I think, was a couple of hours. Saturday, we did it for about 4 hours. And then yesterday, I played for, like, 5.5 hours. And next week, I'll probably help out. On Friday, I'll probably help a bunch of people out. And the day after, I'll probably start the DLC. Not 100% sure, though. Haven't really decided what I'm going to do there exactly. But yeah, I will gladly watch a couple of clips today. I'm probably not going to do too much React ending, in all honesty, because I'm just not feeling it today. The heat is going to make me not want to... It's going to make me want to lay down and read, basically, because of how hot it is. But like I said, there's one day I'll be guaranteed to have a webcam on, and that day is Monday during the Just Chatting section, because I do kind of like with Elden, like, I've noticed, I'll be real, when I'm playing the game, and something happens, I'll, like, look at my webcam like that, and, like, have some sort of facial reaction, and then as I'm doing that, I realize my light's off, and my webcam is off as well, because the light being on in this little fucking room increases the temperature rapidly. It's one of the reasons why I would expect, like, when I say this one's going to be short, this one's probably going to be like an hour. But I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, next week it's going to be more Elden Ring. We'll get through the DLC, or we'll grind out the DLC over the next couple of weekends. And then we'll probably focus on beating the game. There's a couple more bosses I do want to fight, but I'm probably not going to do as much exploring as I kind of wanted to do. And the main reason for that is, in all honesty, when you break it down, a lot of the exploration that I want to do isn't what I want to do, if that makes any sense. The reason I'm saying it in that way is because the exploration is not, like, I love exploring, don't get me wrong, but there's another part of me that's like, alright, so my main goal was to chill and take my time with the game until we got to the DLC, or get ready to activate the DLC, and then play the DLC. That was, like, the main reason I did that. Maybe I'll continue to explore when I'm done with the DLC, but we'll see. Now, mind you, I don't know if I'm gonna be, like, there's a part of me that's tempted to maybe just chill, and we'll see what I decide to do, because there might be fixes and stuff like that, but again, I'll take my time and enjoy the game. Now, after we get done with Elden Ring, we're gonna be playing Fallout 3. Right? However, I'm realizing as I say this, July, our anniversary, our stream anniversary is coming up soon. I'm using the royal we here. But the stream anniversary is coming up soon, and I do want to play Metal Gear. So we might actually take a month-long break from Fallout to play Metal Gear. And I might use the time in July to try and get my streams to go a little bit longer, in all honesty. We'll see, though. We'll see how I'm feeling. Let me put this stuff away while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I do want to get through Fallout. We'll probably get to Fallout New Vegas. November, that's probably when we'll end up getting around to New Vegas. Because in September, we're going to spend the month of September doing speedrun stuff for Armored Core 6. Gotcha. I'll check those out when we're done here, because we don't have much today, like I said. I haven't really played much. I played a little bit of Lost Light off stream, just doing a couple of chill runs there. I had a couple of good fights with PvP in the game, I will say that. And when I say a couple of good fights, one person must have thought they had killed me when I crouched. Like, I did a drop shot, basically, on them, which fucking floored me that it actually worked, but it did. And another person had killed me. I came back. I laid down in a little small area and waited. They walked right past me. I jumped up with the MP5 that I procured from one of the Marauders, and then fucking lit up his legs because he wasn't wearing armor that covered the legs. It's one of the reasons why it honestly doesn't really matter. Like, if somebody gets the jump on you in that game, you're pretty much dead no matter what. Again, there are certain circumstances where that's not the case, but you don't have to worry too much about not having leg armor on. But I will say, one of the best things to do is to aim for somebody's legs, and if you don't hit armor, shred them. Because it doesn't matter if they have legendary armor or not, their legs are armorless, and they're fucking vulnerable. Right? Anyways. We got to defeat him. He gave us 420,000 runes when we defeated him on a new game. Right? Because I have two playthroughs. The first playthrough I have is my... Like, I made one that looked similar to Snake from Metal Gear 5, Metal Gear Solid 5. And is a dex-focused build. Right? Now, mind you, the more you play, the more you can pretty much level up all of your stats and then do whatever type of build you want at any time. However, that's not really what I'm there for, you know? Because, like, I'll be honest, using the Mimic Tears again, I didn't use the Mimic Tears how I did last time, right? Like, I did use them, but I also fought Mog a little bit. I think that's what I'll do in the future. I'll fight the bosses to a certain point, and if I ever get to the point to where there are certain bosses where I think I'm just going to fight them with Mimic Tears regardless, because at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. I'm having fun beating the bosses however I beat them. I think I'll only ever have 3 characters. Snake, Dory, and somebody else, because I want to have like a primary focus magic build and stuff like that. Mind you, there are certain things that I just can't help doing, and as I break it down, I realize I probably should just, in the future, play my main playthrough. Right? Because I'll just level up my character a bunch, and then if I wanted, like, the next time I new game it, I'll just do a different build, and I already have everything unlocked, pretty much. Man. One of the reasons why I don't have my light on, I don't know if you can tell, but that's how hot it is. That's why I have this damn headband on, and that's why I normally have my light off. But I can deal with a little bit of discomfort for today, because it's only going to be a little bit longer. Like I said, it's going to be a fucking short one for Minecraft today. For topics of conversation, I don't really have much to go over. I've kind of been lazing about. I did a little bit of lawn work, set up a pool for, like a, not a big pool. More of a, like, hey, you just get in it, lay in it to get over the heat, and then you're good to go. Mowed the lawn. Pulled some weeds from some of the little garden areas that are getting overgrown. What else? Yeah, that's about it, in all honesty. As for things that I saw while scrolling through Twitter, honestly haven't really been scrolling through Twitter. I mean, some people are getting hyped up, ready and raring to go for when it comes to the Grand Theft Auto commercial or advertisement, because we got the story advertisement. Now people are curious for when we're going to get the gameplay advertisement. I myself am more excited for that than the anything else. Hey, greetings, good day, Insane Baboon. How are you doing today? Well, again, I've said it a couple times before, and I'll probably end up saying it a couple times again in the future, not that I mind. But whenever I say the good day, it doesn't matter if it's, like, 11:55 p.m. at night. You know what I mean? That was kind of redundant. But anyways, it doesn't matter to me because the good day in question is the overall day, like the whole 24-hour period that occurs from whatever your time goes from 001 or 1201 to that 24-hour period. Oh, yeah. You having a case of the Mondays today? That does suck. Last couple of Mondays for me have kind of been like that. Why did I have the bone meal? There was a reason I had bone meal and I don't remember. It's a bandana because of the heat. Nothing happened to my head. It's a yellow bandana. Also, greetings and good day, Anime. Jugs, how are you doing today? No, see, my head's fine. It's just this. Because if I wasn't wearing this, I'd be wiping my forehead constantly. Because over the past couple of days, I haven't had a webcam on, right? And that's because well, mind you, I'm glad I didn't yesterday, because we had Rage Day yesterday. I'll get more into detail on that in a minute. But yeah, no, the most interesting that I read was today. Apparently Miyazaki had an interview where he was talking about how, like, where he was asked about their thoughts on the seamless co-op mod that people have made. And he was talking about how, yeah, we don't really get bothered by mods like that. We actually might even use some of the ideas from that for future games or something like that. Said something along those lines, and that made me interesting. What would you think about a seamless, like, being able to start the game with another person and beat the entire game with another person? Like, as long as it's an optional thing, I don't give a shit. I'm always up. The more options you have, the better off you are, from my perspective. Let's get some more wheat, in all honesty, now that I'm thinking about it. Let me place some more of this stuff down and we'll go from there. The lighting makes it look like bandages. I did not realize that. That's kind of funny. Well, when you said that, I was like, huh, I wonder where that came from. I didn't realize it made it look like a bandage. Well, then again, it makes sense because this is a yellow bandana. Anyways, yesterday was a rage day, basically. I was fighting a boss that I've not really fought a lot, and got my ass handed to me for a couple of hours, but eventually we finally cheesed him and fucked him up, and we got him glitched out where he was doing the same attacks over and over again. In a minute, I will be going over the Star Wars episode breakdown, because I did watch, like I said, at least one episode a week I'll watch and do a breakdown of it, because I do enjoy doing this. But before that, what did I want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk about the fact that I am really excited. Like, I think it's also how many other people are hyped for it as well. Like, it almost feels like a, it's not, but it almost feels like an Elden Ring 2 with how hyped people are getting for this shit, you know? Oh, dumbass, I wanted to put that shit away. Is there anything else I could possibly think to go over? Oh! I finally started to watch Vati videos, lore breakdowns. And it's really interesting because as Vati goes over the lore, some text will pop up at the bottom of the screen explaining where, like, the source material for it. And it's funny because all the source material are just item descriptions. That's all it is. And that's how, like, a lot of the stuff that was being said is stuff that I've already kind of picked up on because of remembrances or listening to Millennia or Millennia tell you about America's own words and stuff like that. And it's really, really intriguing to me to see how basically the Erd tree is not the originator of that land, right? The lands between, or whatever the hell you want to call it, is basically an anchor land. And every one of the outer gods want to get their fingers in the pie that is the world of Elden Ring. None more so than the Greater Will, apparently. I'm just gonna throw this stuff anywhere because honestly, I just want to make some room.
This is Hits 2024. All your favorite songs and hot new releases updated every week.
I also want to breed some more bees, so I'll do that in a minute, and then I'll go farming a second while I go over the Star Wars breakdown.
Teddy swims.
Because this one,
Jack Harlow.
like I said earlier, it's very interesting to see
The latest hits.
what exactly they've been doing or how they've been establishing the episodes. Like, the first 3 episodes of the animated series were kind of like a, hey, here's just a generalized what's going on. And the rest have been interconnected, right? So, like, episodes 4, 5, and 6 kind of go well with each other. Well, actually, I don't think, though. There's a certain point, I can't remember where it happens, but there's a certain point where, like, the last 6 episodes, no, the last 7 episodes, the first 3 went together, the next 3 went together, and I think these 3 are going to go together because what has occurred is it was a setup, a trap that Obi-Wan and Anakin devised, or whatever you want to say, in order to get Anakin captured by Count Dooku, and then Obi-Wan would come in to both rescue his Padawan turned potential master, as well as capture Dooku. Of course, that doesn't work out how they had it planned, but they both eventually did crash land after a chase and getting inside of a ship. They did crash land on a system, or a planet, or whatever you want to call it, that it was a little ridiculous watching some of the interactions that occurred, because it's like there's so much hesitation, or there's so much like all the characters seem to have this overconfidence because they have access to the Force. And it's kind of wild. Now, mind you, some of the stuff is, of course, played up a little bit to a certain extent. Like, there are some things that are ridiculous where Anakin at one point is getting chased around by a Gundark, and as he's getting chased around by said Gundark, Obi-Wan's looking at his lightsaber trying to figure out why it's on the fritz, because it was like kept flickering in and out after Anakin got his taken by Dooku while he was unconscious, which, funniest thing, again, there's reasons I know why, but it's amazing that Dooku didn't just kill Anakin when he was looking at the unconscious, at least I think he was looking at an unconscious Anakin. Maybe he was just taking the lightsaber and assumed I wasn't really paying too much attention because I got a little bit aggravated with how dense they like make the characters at times, it feels like. All right, look at this. We're starting to get a nice swarm of bees in the greenhouse. It makes me very pleased. Makes me very pleased. Anyways, I'll do what I have been doing over the past couple of times. Oh, we're also going to be, yeah, we're going to be farming. Okay, excuse you? There you go. We're going to be farming. So, we have the quote for the episode: "The winding path to peace is always a worthy one, regardless of how many turns it takes regardless of how many turns it takes." That was the quote for episode 11. It's like the narrator basically explains the whole process of what's going on, and what's going on is, like I said earlier, it's a trap to try and capture Count Dooku. Dooku escapes after he enters this cave that they follow Dooku into. He traps them behind himself. And, like, as I was watching, I kind of got frustrated because at a certain point, Anakin was looking for Obi-Wan and was pulling rocks out of rubble. And I was just like, why you, like, seemingly to be so delicate? They seem to be so lackluster with their use of the Force, even though there's a situation where they should probably be, like, using the Force to get the hell out of the cave. They were just, like, not using the Force. And then after Anakin and Obi-Wan finally meet back up, they start using the Force to pull rocks out together. And I was just like, I feel like they're underselling the Force use. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just felt lackluster to me. Anyways, well, they're stuck in the cave and trying to get rid of the cave-in that Dooku created, as well as avoid getting ate by a Gundar. Dooku's out there observing his ship and the ship that was confiscated by Obi-Wan and oh, yeah. Yeah, shit like that I can't stand. Anyways, while they're doing that, Dooku's arriving to the site of basically a group of pirates ghetto stripping the two ships. Said pirates, the pirates pleased me as much as they pissed me off, right? Because these pirates are like so confident in themselves, like, oh, we outnumber you. They offer to bring Dooku to a new system. Of course, because they're pirates, the dude's all like, oh, we need to talk about my fee, right? And because they're pirates, just can't get enough, has to have greed and be wanting more, which will come back to bite him in the ass for sure. Anyways, they capture Dooku, they imprison him, they also say that they're gonna sell him to the Republic for 1 million credits, or paid for in spice, which, as soon as I heard that, I thought of Doom. I mean, not Doom, Dune. I thought of Dune. And I was like, huh. Watch out for the sandworms. The pirates contact the council, have a whole thing about selling him, and Palpatine, of course, is like, well, holograms can be fake. And even if these scumbags have Dooku's lightsaber, we're not sure. So the council has Anakin and Obi-Wan. Now, mind you, before this, they had to get rescued by Ahsoka, because as they were trying to get out of the cave, when they set down one of the rocks, they busted open a toxic gas vent, I guess. and they were not holding their breath as soon as the toxic gas event happened, which really aggravated me because we saw in multiple occasions them holding their breath, right? In episode, like, it feels like the longer that Star Wars goes on, the more is forgotten about the capabilities of the characters. Like, hell, there's one point in time where Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, in episode 1, use Force speed and, like, zip down the hallway. And we have never seen an overt use of Force speed after that. We've seen the Jedi mind trick. We primarily see lightsaber battles. But we rarely, if ever, seem to see more than that. Force lightning's pretty prevalent for the Sith, which there were a couple moments that were actually really cool. When Obi-Wan and Anakin were trying to arrest Dooku, he dipped, like just dropped down into escape vent. I don't know why it's so hot. I really don't. But yeah, Anakin chased him down the escape vent while Obi-Wan tried to cut him off. They both capture the ship, yada yada yada. Then after they drop down, they get rescued by Ahsoka because the toxic gas was killing them. She blasts open the wall with her force powers, and I was like, why didn't they do that to begin? Like, they were trying to be soft and gentle with the cave-in, and it's like, listen, if I had toxic gas coming to kill me, I'm gonna use the force to blast my way through, regardless of how much of a risk it should be. Oh, they also fought against the Gundark and managed to, you know, knock them out temporarily till they could proceed to cover the cave-in when the Gundark was trying to then fuck them up later down the line. Pirates contact the council, make their demands for the release of Dooku into their custody. The council sends Anakin and Obi-Wan. Now, mind you, the deal that was made was that the Jedi could not have their lightsabers, their weapons. They had to be unarmed. And I was like, oh yeah, this isn't going to go over well. Right now,
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
hold up, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, partly sunny.
Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make
I'm looking to see what the humidity is like.
For select mobile devices, message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA member FDIC.
Yeah, high humidity today.
Hey, Spotifyers. Click or tap the banner to listen to Fun Run. Put a spring in your step with these
Anyways,
brought to you by Pro Plan Sport. Advanced nutrition for strength and stamina in active dogs like you.
where was I? Oh yeah, so Obi-Wan and Anakin go to the home location of the pirates to confirm that they have Dooku and recover him. And then, oh, this gets so good. Before they go there, though, the pirates are talking to the Republic, and they go, oh, you don't have to worry about us doing anything to your Jedi. We have no desire to get involved with your war. And I fucking kind of blew up. Because it's like, wait the fuck a minute. You're trying to say some bullshit like that? You've captured the leader of the Separatists and are selling him to the Republic. You have inserted yourself into the war. What the fuck do you mean you don't want no part of it? And of course, when Obi-Wan and Anakin show up, one of the first things that they do is the pirate tries to drug the duo and knock them unconscious. And the only reason they don't is because the two switch their drinks, their alcoholic drinks, apparently, with the two that are next to them as they're doing a cheers thing. Like, hey, let's act like we're falling for the bait. And it's like, I would not... If that happened in the situation, I'd want to get the fuck out of there. Like, I would be leaving at that point. You tried to drug me. I'm either leaving or I'm killing everybody. This is why I know I wouldn't be a Jedi. Because the Jedi put up with way too much bullshit. They really do. Like, they go there to make sure it's actually Dooku. They confront him, right? And Dooku goes on to talk about how they're not to be trifled with because they're like, your overconfidence or whatever will be your undoing about these pirates. And I'm like, yeah, no, it obviously will be. Because they're not taking this shit seriously, even though they know the pirates are trying to drug them. And they were able to capture Dooku. And the reason they were able to capture Dooku is because somehow, while he was asleep, they confiscated his lightsabers, which, holy shit. And then they pretty much were like, you want to fuck around? You'll find out because we'll blast you. It just makes me so aggravated when characters try to make, like, you're trying to be so greedy. You want to have your cake and eat it too, motherfucker. You can't do that in this situation. You're not only are you getting involved with the fight on the separatist sides of things, you're fucking getting, like, you're gonna be in between two people that you do not want to be in between, basically. Ironically enough, both are being led by the same fucking piece of shit Sith. Which is hilarious to think about how long the war goes on for. Like, nobody think it's suspicious that every single time somebody's about to capture somebody else, somebody miraculously comes in to save the day because of Sidious or Palpatine? Well, I mean, Dooku knows. Dooku's an idiot. Dooku knows, in quotation marks. What Dooku thinks is that he's too useful. Not realizing the true plan in the beginning is... it doesn't stop at you. Oh. Like, it is wild to me how trusting the Sith are. Well, here's the thing. You have to keep in mind that numbers can still overwhelm a Jedi. We've seen it countless times, actually. If you look at Order 66, the Jedi, there's a lot of Jedi there that get overwhelmed. Sith don't have the same constraints as a Jedi. And I'm kind of saying this with rolled eyes because I know for a fact, like, let me break it down for you. I've talked about making fan fictions before or whatever, but let me break it down to the basic premise of a self-insert. A self-insert, if you don't know, is the idea that an author will take a character that represents themselves being thrown into that world. Obviously, there's going to be some artistic liberties that the creator will take, and that's fair and fine. However, I know for a fact, if I were to take those artistic liberties, throw myself in the world of Star Wars as a Force sensitive, a Jedi, I would not be. I tried to speak like Yoda there for a second, but then I was like, abort, you're already going to fuck it up, just abort. And then one of the main reasons is because of how idiotic even Yoda is. And when I say idiotic, I mean stupid, as an unintellectual. The motherfucker in episode 1 had Ventress, Dooku's Sith apprentice, dead to rights. And the little green bastard asked her to give up as he gave her the lightsabers back she used to in the future slaughter who knows how many clones. And Jedi. She almost killed the Jedi Master if it wasn't for Ahsoka helping out. But she also was able to fucking release Newt Gunroy. Like, good job, Yoda. The same with Dooku. You have Dooku in front of you. He is a grave threat, literally to the universe. Do it. Kill him. Like, come on. Do it. Like, it kind of frustrates me thinking about retroactively how many times the Jedi don't pull the trigger. Like, some stupid bullshit about justice or going on trial, and it's like... So, what is the point of putting somebody on trial who has a high potential of escape? He's a slippery bastard. Why put them on trial when you know what their crimes are? What, you want them to admit to everybody in the world to see it? Fuck that. Just get rid of the problem. We solved the problem. Problem solved. As the head rolls of fucking Sidious. Which, oh man. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, that was pretty much like, the episode wasn't really, like, it was pretty straightforward, in all honesty. It really aggravated me when Anakin and Obi-Wan used their force powers to swap their drinks with two of the other pirates that were next to them. And lo and behold, they did it because they were like, these drinks are drugged. And then they just like, what do they do after that? Do they fall asleep of their own volition in the quarters? Not, like, are they that fucking dumb? If I had confirmed that Dooku was there, I'd be like, alright, screw you guys. The money will, like, that, it aggravates me. That's the other thing, too. You're dealing with pirates, and you all know they're pirates. And you're gonna trust a bunch of pirates? I don't give a shit what their disposition is. I will trust last. That's like the last thing I would do to pirates. I don't care what they're known for, whatever. It's like, you are known as a lawbreaker, right? You are known as a liar, a cheat, a thief. And even if that is wrong, I'm still gonna go based off of that, because no way in hell am I gonna just blindly trust people? Even if and they are drugging you. They're trying to fucking drug you. Like, the reason I'm bringing this up. Oh, really? They changed Bad Omen. Okay. That's interesting.
It's gotta
Oh, you want to know who they're gonna send to go pick up Dooku, by the way? A senator, including 2 senators, one of which is fucking Binks, Representative Binks. Now, mind you, I'm happy with this because it can allow me to see more of the potential Sith powers that Jar Jar may or may not have. I say Sith powers. I should say Force powers, because I really don't think Jar Jar... I do think Jar Jar has more to him than meets the eyes, but I really don't think he's actually, like, Darth Jar Jar or anything like that. Yep. Yep. But yeah, the episode ends right there, and the next episode, when it was popping up on Disney, I was like, wait a minute. It literally, it kind of spoiled it for me. But in the next episode, we're gonna see Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku team up to escape their captivity under the pirates. And I was like, huh, yeah, that about figures. I like that. It gives the player more options. Like I said earlier, one of my biggest things is giving a player more options. Let them do almost anything possible in the game that you've created, as long as they have that choice to do that, right? Like a perfect example, fishing. I do believe there's a lot of games that could get away with having fishing in there, as long as it's an optional thing. Like with Final Fantasy 15. I spent way too much time in that game fishing, for sure. But it was a choice I made. There's no, like, mandatory you have to go fishing quest or whatever. Well, there's quests for fishing, but you don't have to do that, right? Interesting. Alright, a lot new shit, man. I love that. I love the fact that they're adding stuff like that. At some point, I kind of would like them to be done with the game, though. You know what I mean? I know that's not going to be possible. Like, the way that it works. Honestly, it's probably a bad thing for that to happen, because most cases, like, if they were to come out with a Minecraft 2, it probably would not be nearly as popular as Minecraft, so the better idea would just be to update this game, honestly, now that I think about it and say it out loud. Because a lot of the time you'll have situations where people will be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna do the fucking thing right here, right? And it doesn't work out like that because the fucking... Some things, like we were talking about earlier with Ominous, whatever the fuck it's called, that was something we couldn't control. So, like, one of the reasons why I haven't really taken out any of those individuals is because it would activate a raid immediately. And while I do have decent armor and stuff like that, I don't think my armor is 100% complete. As well as just that general... a general thing of not having the weapons that I want, because in all honesty, I kind of want to make another workbench. Might as well do that while I'm thinking about it right now. Oh, okay, I'm glad they changed that too then. Four sand, four gravel. Alright. Wait a minute. Maybe. Maybe. Oh shit, it treats it like gravel. Makes sense. Oh, gravel and sand makes sense because it's made out of gravel and sand.
Celebrate the Palin Museum July 15th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets at palinmuseum.org.
What do we think? I don't know. I think the black is too solid. Yeah, it's something to think about. Oh, 1 minute delay between raids. That's a little bit of a kick in the nads. Okay, so I don't really have much else to go over for today. I'm hot and I'm tired. So we're gonna wrap up for Minecraft, which not probably the earliest we've ever done, in all honesty. But like I said, today's one of those days where it's gonna be shorter. What the hell am I gonna be doing next? Let me think. Yeah, that's too. I think it might be too solid. I'm like going back and forth because I'm trying to get my thoughts in order about what I want to do exactly and how I want to do it. I know I wrote down a list of all the things that I'm going to be doing, and we're getting closer and closer to that list getting complete. There are certain more like frivolous things that I kind of have been waiting to do, like the rabbits and the foxes. I need to gather those. I need to finish building their holding pens though, which are going to require me to put glass down. I'm gonna breed a couple more I'm gonna breed a couple more bees if I can. And there we go. Look at that. A very satisfying feeling to go from having possibly only 2 bees back to 9 or 10. Mind you, we could have 4 bees per hive, and we have a lot of hives in here, so what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 18 times 4. That's the amount of bees we can have in that little greenhouse. I almost kind of wish the bees were a bit smaller, and instead of having to manually feed the bee a flower, you could like place an item down or something like that that would like automatically have the bees do that and breed, but whatever. Let me get the iron and make that workbench. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I got for today. Tomorrow we'll probably do more. I gotta go through the nether. Maybe we'll go through the nether. I said tomorrow? Next Monday we'll probably go through the nether. But I kind of do want to, That's the mod. That's the workbench. You can use whatever to craft whatever weapon there. Then you could get mods and craft those as well. I'm going to probably craft 1 weapon that is ridiculous. Because there's a marksman rifle that pretty much 2 shots most enemies. But we'll see what I decided to do. With that, I think that's going to be it for me for you, YouTube. For those that are watching live, stick around because we're going to do a little bit of react ending before I wrap up for the evening. Gonna check out some of the clips that Rhett wanted me to see. And I might want to pull up the final attempt against Mog. I'll see though. Anyways, that is going to be it for me for you, YouTube. If you're new here and you haven't already, be sure to become a citizen today via subscribing to this channel as well as my main channel. Links will be down in the description below through all my links, exclamation point links like so. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow me on Twitch. Catch me when I go live at 6 p.m. EST EDT Friday through Monday. Invite link to the community Discord where you can always get the most accurate notifications whenever I do go live. If I'm going to be a little bit late or early to stream outside of a half hour, or as long as I know I'm going to be late. As well as whatever else catches your fancy through all my links. Until next time, take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.